What's up, Bruce? Naomi. Danny Cho, what's up? Enrique, how's it going? Nightbot is timed out. Danny Cho, you looks tired. I'm a little bit tired. Chicken nugget. How's your little trip this weekend? Fun trip. Xenox, Fez, what's up? Awesome is cool. Can you share your Spotify playlist? How do I do that, Danny? I'd be happy to. I don't really have any actual playlists. I just have liked songs and stuff, but could definitely share some stuff. It's not a very good mix. But regardless, be happy to share. Are you sponsored by Whole Foods after this weekend? I think we were there 4 times this weekend. When's your live stream end date? December 31st, 2019. True. Hey, Michael, glad you're back home. Thanks, Alistair. I'm still hooked on hallucinogenics, yeah. Lucas. It's been weeks. Oh, yeah. What advice can you give to the 2 viewers? Can you give to the viewers about starting a project like this? Oh, that's a good question. I guess some basic advice would be to really make sure that you're either already at peace with everything, every aspect about yourself, or to make sure that you're okay with being able to find out who you really are and stuff, and make sure that you are mentally and emotionally equipped to handle that if you were to do a project like this. What did you think about the Amazon store? I actually thought the Amazon bookstore was really good. Probably one of the better bookstores I've ever been to in terms of how they picked their books and stuff. They had a lot of really interesting looking titles. Probably a better shopping experience than Barnes and Nobles. Or Barnes and Noble. I don't know if it's... I'll stop asking Michael deep questions. Will you stream in 2020? I'm not sure. How tall are you? 6 foot. What's the worst thing that has happened to you as a result of streaming your life? Well, I would say first, I think the worst is yet to come. I think there are going to be a lot of bad things that happen after this project is finished, or just in the future in general. But so far, I guess the biggest thing would just be what is the worst thing that's happened? I don't know if I don't know if I could say a singular thing, but I think one thing would be I have a lot less money now than I did before. I don't know. That's kind of a bad answer. I'm nearly 50 and still have no idea of who I am. Well, maybe do a project like this and it will give you more of an indication. Watching from Philippines. Hi, Michael. Hey, Michael. Is your 4th finger longer than your 2nd one? 4th finger. I don't know which one's which, but this one's longer. Hey Michael, I sent you a YouTube link that I found of you playing piano at a concert in high school. I posted it in a comment on one of your other videos because I don't have your email. Dope. If you want my email, first of all, if you ever want, the best way to message me, if any of you guys are curious, Discord is great. Join my Discord and DM me on there. That's the easiest for me to respond to. Instagram message, I'll definitely see them at some point. Email is probably my least favorite, but I still will see them at some point and respond. But my email is michaelgarylivestream@gmail.com. So feel free to email me, Brad. But I think I know what video you're talking about, and I should get a notification about that in my comments or something, and hopefully be able to see that. I think he will live in the car next year. Exactly. Amazon store looked legit. I spent an entire day. Yeah, it was really cool. And that guy in the front was dope too. Did you found the ghost at Haunted Forest yesterday? No. I think that, will you play piano again on campus? I remember those 5 a.m. sessions you had. Yeah, maybe. It's hard because that's the only good time to play is in the morning, or else there's like a bunch of people there and it's not a good environment to play. So it's a privilege to get to play there, but the sacrifice is that I have to wake up early. Which one wins, reality or imagination? I mean, which one wins? It's a pretty general question, but I would answer reality vaguely. Now that Rachel is back in your life, will you be doing another Minecraft stream before the year is over? Naomi, I know you're excited, and yes, probably. Do you watch Ice Poseidon, Hampton Brandon, Sandpepper, Only Use Me Blade? I have watched some of those people before, but I don't watch anyone consistently. But I should probably keep it better. Keep up with the streaming community better. When this project gonna end? I don't want it to end. I want it to adapt, maybe. Tummy. I mean, it's a possibility. I never really know, but I'll be taking a break after December 31st. What exactly will the living space part of the Prius be like? I have a ton of Prius questions you want to ask. GP, fire away. Happy to answer. The living space part of the Prius will look like about a full-sized bed. That's literally basically what it's going to look like. It's going to be, you're going to have the 2 front seats, and when I'm sleeping or like just during the day, if I'm not driving, they're going to be pushed as far forward as they can be. And the whole back area is going to be just this like 3 or 4 inch memory foam, and it's just going to be like a big mattress. And under the mattress, in various spots will be storage. But it's not going to be, it's basically will not be a living space. It will basically be a sleeping space. Because one of the ideas when you live in a vehicle is you are not really living there. You are like sleeping there, and then you are living more of your life outside and like more of your life in other places and places that change all the time and stuff like that. And that's kind of the appeal. And then kind of like, I don't know what the word is, but it forces you to do that, and it is a good thing that it forces you to do that because you live like a more active and sort of adventurous lifestyle. But the idea is kind of based on the fact that when you're at home, this is not true for me, and this is not true for some people, but most people generally don't actually spend that much time at home. Like they maybe watch TV and stuff and they sleep, but then they leave and they do work and they do chores and they're gone for most of the day. So it's like, that's the idea behind it. Like you really only need a bed. So I see you play piano. I am also a musician. It'd be interesting to see you make a song. Hey, Michael. I learned a couple nights ago about your stream. Do you not have Streamlabs set up to receive TTS donations? If not, I suggest you do. James, if you know enough about how to like set that up and you could instruct me, then send me a message somewhere, but I couldn't figure out how to do it for this. Or send me a rift and I'll make up the rest. Sounds cool, head work. Have any followers visited you in person and been visible in your streaming? As far as like stream sniping, I don't think that's ever happened. Favorite sparkling water flavor? Right now, coconut. When is New York happening? Probably December 13th. Jordan, hi, Michael, I have a question. Go ahead. Do you like fish seafood? If so, what's your favorite? Probably salmon. Would you and Ethan make a video reaction for And yes, I do like fish seafood. Would you and Ethan make a reaction video for Indonesian people? Absolutely. Who was the last person that convinced you that you were wrong about something major? About something major? I don't know the answer to that. Does this mean you will become, if I had to guess, maybe like my dad or something, but I couldn't think of anything. Does this mean you will become Gary the hobo? To me, it reminds me of a moving tent. It's pretty similar to that. What are your thoughts on the fact that you're always going to be alive in heaven forever, and that you're always going to exist for eternity? I don't know. I don't have a lot of thoughts about that. Yeah, you should have taken a break. Yeah, you should have taken some break to find a new idea. Bye, see ya. Glad to join my first Q&A after subscribing to Patreon today. Ian, thank you for subscribing. I saw that. Very cool. I wondered what things are the limited time left of 2019 have made you feel a sense of urgency to capture, complete, include in the live stream. I have a couple sort of like events that I want to do. Like I've talked about doing the New York trip. It's kind of like a Patreon thing. So Ethan and I just want to do a trip, like a road trip up there. And then I also want to have a bunch of people from the project who have like been longtime viewers and in the comments and stuff come out and visit for like the last week of the project and kind of like bring in the new year together, like sort of end the project as a community. I think that'd be cool. Things I have an urgency to complete and capture. I don't know. There's nothing huge. I don't think anything huge aside from that. Have you done any analytics of any of the following YouTubers not safe for extreme viewership, Patreon support, audience, communities? No, I don't. I haven't done a lot of analytics on almost anything. The only analytics I've checked are like really basic YouTube ones on my audience, and basically just to see what like where people are watching, what like who's watching and age groups and stuff. What phone do you use for mobile streaming? I switched between a Samsung, some Galaxy A or something. It's like a cheap Galaxy knockoff or something, and then an iPhone. But I don't like to stream mobile. I just do it if there's something wrong with my like backpack, then I do that. Or if I'm working on my backpack, then I do that in the meantime while I'm like fixing whatever's wrong with it. Have you been doing this since January 1st? Yes, I have. New Year's resolution. That's a good question. Spend less time on social media. What exactly is your quarter life? Is your quarter crisis loss of target? Sure. Yeah, I think it's not a bad way of putting it at all. Loss of just like infrastructure and target. Do you watch any other IRL streamers? Oh, whoa. What's going on here? Just a lot of, let's see what this, got a lot of deleted messages. No, I don't watch a lot of other IRL streamers. I watched some of them to try and like figure out things before I started this project, but now I don't really watch anyone. But I do watch a lot of YouTube. What aspects of yourself are you most unsure about? I guess a lot of things. I mean, I think that what am I most unsure about? I think maybe like just what I should be doing with my life. That's probably got to be number one. Have you recently had a spike in views? Recently, let's see what we're at now. I mean, recently, as in the last month, it's gone up a lot, but it kind of fluctuates day to day. So I wouldn't say it's been an enormous spike in like the last day or so. But I did get a couple more patrons than usual in the last couple days, which is really cool. At least with the hard-hitting questions. And head work, the Gary Hobo comment was rude and uncalled for. Please don't. No, that's fine. He's just joking around. What worries you the most? Just making like the wrong decision and like wasting time and stuff, or like doing things that don't align with my values. That's not something you should joke about. No worries, Jordan. It was okay. I mean, literally, that it's like I'm gonna live in a vehicle, so that's why it's New York. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to imagine how it's gonna be. Yeah, it should be cool. I'll hold off on the Prius questions and not hog the chat. Feel free, GP. Anyone's willing or welcome to ask any questions. Are you preparing something special to finish the project on December 31st? I don't have anything in mind. I think that I'll probably pop a bottle of something sparkling and spray it, just like I did. And I'll probably do it on the back patio of my uncle's house. So it's like, man, maybe I'll wear the same things that I did when we started the project, just so it'll be like a funny replica of the start. What successful things are coming to this project? And thank you for my t-shirt. No worries, Jillian. You tell me if it did it arrive already? What successful things are coming? I think the most successful thing that's happening related to the project right now is like the quality is improved because I have more modems now and modems that work better and are more reliable. So that's good. That's successful. And the Patreon is doing really well. And then like just kind of the trajectory in general towards the end of the year, everything seems like pretty good and straightforward in the right direction. So all those are successful. If the not safe for work stream wasn't added to be part of the project, what do you think would be the state of this project in terms of project success? That's a great question. I think I could safely say that in general there'd be a lot less eyes on it. Well, I mean, I couldn't safely say anything because it could always have gone a different direction if I hadn't added that aspect. You know, maybe like a PG company would have been like, oh, check this out. I don't know. But I think that it would be, I wouldn't be surprised if there were less viewers by a lot. Probably still like in the range of somewhere between 5 and 10 rather than like 30 to 50. And then audience, communities, and then obviously there are more people watching now because this is in the algorithm and so it's getting recommended to people, but a lot of that happened because there were more eyes that came from adding that element, which was not anticipated. I didn't expect the YouTube portion to, I mean, I didn't really have any expectations. I knew that some people would be excited about it because there's obviously like there's a forum or something that like talks about me sexually, so I assumed that someone would be excited, but definitely didn't anticipate like bigger YouTube numbers. But I guess it makes sense if you're like waiting for that bathroom cam to turn on or whatever. What would be this is Patreon support? I think the Patreon would probably have like, I don't know. I wouldn't really know how to. Again, I think that the algorithm led more people here, and that could be related to that. But I think that there is definitely a good portion of people on Patreon probably who are more interested in the not safe for work aspects. So, you know, you could take a significant portion of the patrons. I don't really know though. I mean, there's only a couple that have voiced that to me, so I'm not really sure. Audience, communities, I think all kind of the same thing. Let's see. So if Jack lots of spam, Michael. Well, thanks for dealing with it. Having quarter life crisis here. Besides, I had it before and I still do. Now making my way to 30s despite myself. Well, I hope it's headed in the right direction. Do you have a public Spotify playlist? If not, would you ever consider sharing one? I really like your taste in music. Thanks, Dean. Yeah, I don't know how to do that. Like, I'll put that on my to-do list here. Just make it. But I promise my music taste is like, it's not very diverse and not very developed or mature. It's probably pretty weak compared to a lot of people's, but you like what you like, right? What would be the first movie you'd watch once the stream is over? Star Wars one. Yeah, Fez, you already got it. Bingo. And then there's another one that I wanted to watch, but I can't think of it right now. Wow. Where? Let's do. Which streamers did you watch to get ideas? I don't know how to answer that question. I don't have any ideas. Like, ideas on life. Potter, in your experience, is there ever a truly platonic straight man-woman relationship, or will there always be necessary sexual tension? I don't know. I think that there is a more likelihood for that if there's really no attraction between them. So if people are just not each other's type by a lot. But I mean, in my experience, I've definitely had friendships. I don't know. It's kind of shifted. I used to have a lot more like. Naomi, you're so fast. My browser is slow. My English sense of humor. Yes, it was a joke. Don't worry about it. At work. What makes you happiest? What makes you happiest? Good conversations. Is Q&A with Mrs. Gary still happening? You know what, Bern? I read that as I was kind of skimming over here, and I think I'm going to text my mom and ask if she wants to come over and do like 15 minutes or so of Q&A at the end. If you guys want to ask her any questions. What is your biggest accomplishment from the stream this year? That's a good question, Josh. My biggest accomplishment. I think that I have like a lot of smaller accomplishments that have been prompted by the stream. But I mean, in my opinion, the biggest accomplishment is literally the stream itself. And the fact that I'm now in November, the fact that it's November 10th, that's it. I mean, in my mind, that's a huge accomplishment in terms of like what I set out to do. I'm really proud of myself. But obviously not at 100% because we still got like 50 something more days, or we'll literally shut off at midnight, or we get to see you celebrate New Year's. I don't know. It's a good question. I don't know the answer. I think that I will turn it off at midnight because I want it to. I think it'd be interesting to like have that stark immediate contrast of everyone's watching to now I'm like just participating with everyone normally. What do you do for a living? I mean, money-wise, I don't do anything. I had some money saved up. I did some painting and lawn mowing, and now I don't do anything. I'm living off of part savings and part Patreon money until the end of the year. Are you going to continue to be alcohol-free once the stream is over? Faz, it's a good question. If I had to guess, I'd say most likely. Probably, at least for a while. That means Lance needs to come. I agree, Naomi. I told him. I think that he sounded interested. The MGLS community is uncharacteristically decent and respectful compared to other fandoms. Do you think this says something about the nature of your project, you yourself as the object of the project? Absolutely. I mean, I think that the people who gravitate towards a project and a like social media character are people who like are entertained or interested or like characteristics about the person, and so probably share certain characteristics. But I think that has more to do with the fact that it is a project where you can see everything, and it's like it's the closest thing to sort of like a reality show that, or like a reality, and I don't know, it's very based in reality, and I think that helps with people like being respectful and stuff and just forming a better community. I don't really know, I have no idea, but I know that I like a lot of people in the community, and so I think that it would make sense that you would attract people similar to yourself. Any plan to visit Bali? Your brother has done it. Yeah, Bali seems cool. I don't have any plans, but I'm sure I will at some point. Nay, with the Lance fetish. Brian did a podcast interview last night. I'm coming over to Danny's podcast tomorrow. Perfect. Okay, yeah. My mom said that she's down to come over, so I'll have her come at like 8:45 or something. Or 9:45. When was the last time you had alcohol? I think sometime in April or May. It's solo tonight. What will you miss most about Harley when you're Prius living? Just having a companion. It's a good question, Chris. I missed Harley. Come here. Come here. I missed Harley just being in Austin. It's really nice to have a dog. Woof. One idea for partial continuation of the project in 2020. Oh, sorry. Oh, yeah, no, that was it. Yeah, I'll miss Harley in general, but I plan to, like, pick him up from Oregon once in a while and bring him on trips and stuff, you know. Keep our relationship strong even though we're apart. One idea for partial continuation of the project in 2020 could be regular cooking videos. So many fun videos of you and Ethan in the kitchen this year. You could also have cooking guests like Josh. That's a good idea, Brad. I'm pretty, like, not good chef at all, so I don't know if that would be the right thing for me, but Ethan talked about he wants to do a cooking show where he makes, like, really bad recipes. Well, like, his attempts at good recipes, but he just does, like, a really bad job, and then he feeds them to the people. So I think that would be funny. So I wouldn't want to copy his idea. If you were given a chance to go back in time and remove the not safe for work stream of the project, would you remove it? Why or why not? No, definitely not. As I said, like, originally, I mean, the impetus for adding it was it makes the project more complete. It makes it more significant. It makes it more, like, radical of an idea. It makes everything about it better in my mind. And the fact that my favorite part about it is that if someone asks me, like, I say, like, if I say I live stream my entire life and they go, oh, like, everything? Like, you live stream your entire life? And then I could just, like, say that, yeah, it's really everything, then I really enjoy that. I'm really excited about that. And Josh, see you tomorrow. Cool, Miss Gary. Have podcasts. I don't think a single person can be a fetish. McHenry Cruiser. Cool. Good to hear. I will write that down and check that person out. Yes, tomorrow is my mom's birthday. Nice. What time is podcast tomorrow? I get up at 6 a.m. Podcast is at 5:30. Bearded man named Lance. Are you happy with the success of the bathroom cam? I mean, kind of back to what I was saying. It has, like, has made the rest of the stream more successful, and so I'm excited about that. I guess it's not a bad thing that there are a lot of people watching, like, for those small aspects of the project, but it's not something that I'm, like, I don't know. I mean, it's yeah, I don't have any complaints about the success of the bathroom cam. So you're continuing the project into next year. Have you gotten the attention of gay men before the stream, or is this a brand new experience for you? I think like a couple, but it definitely wasn't like a huge thing. But definitely a few. Hi Toby, it's fun to see you guys at the golfing today. Perfect cruise by Denny's Josh, who started at 5:30. How does it feel to be a sex symbol? How does it feel to be a sex symbol? It feels almost like I'm not a sex symbol. Sounds good. I'll see you then. Howdy, Brad, and thanks. What are your thoughts? People displaying a sense of entitlement when they say they had supported you as being patron and been part both YouTube and not safe for work audience. What? My thoughts. I don't know. I guess I don't really have any thoughts on that. I think that people can be like proud of whatever. I mean, people can be proud of anything, and they can either feel good or bad about anything they want. I'm obviously really happy to have anyone as a patron, and it makes a big difference in my life. And I really appreciate when I get new ones, and I really appreciate the people who are patrons right now and who stick through the months and stuff. It's really epic, and it makes my life a lot better. What is being a patron mean to you? Are they of importance? Yeah, I mean, they're of like really significant importance. To put it in perspective, if there was no Patreon, then I would be doing things similar to painting my uncle's house for the rest of the project. Basically, it would just be like a race to figure out ways to make money to survive for the rest of the year. But because that's not the case, I can just like do things that I want to do. My life is way better, and I can do things like the New York trip and stuff, and just all of my options are more open, and the next month and a half of my life will be good rather than bad. So it's a pretty big difference. It's really important. And Adrian, happy birthday, hon. What 3 things would you do first if your channel blows up and you earn a ton of money? What 3 things would I do first? I'd probably change all of my passwords to everything, and then like hire someone to do everything for me. And then third, if I had a ton of money, I don't know. Maybe buy my dad a jet ski. Or my mom a jet ski. A shared jet ski. Lance's sex. I guess. If you're going to live out of your car next year, then what are you going to do with all your stuff? And what is Ethan going to do? I am going to put a lot of my stuff, probably about like half the stuff that you see in this room, in storage. With some I'm going to sell some of it at whatever I can, and then a lot of the stuff like lights and I don't know, just a bunch of other accessories. It's going to go in storage in College Station. Ethan is going to go to Oregon and try to go back to school, I think. ASMR mic taps, please. What are you going to do to have fun? Probably a lot of roller skating and playing piano. My mom is in here. Was it intentional to have 2 light bulbs in all of your bathrooms? No. But it was intentional to have 2 light bulbs in my bathroom because I like the amount of light that it gives. You have a specific objective. You had a specific objective when you started this live stream. Is that objective being met? How has the Not Safe for Work cam and all the fans you got from it affected or changed your objectives for this project? That is a great question. Private. And my specific objective was to live stream my entire life for a year straight. And that objective is being met. And how is the not? And I would say that I think the Not Safe for Work camera is enhances my execution of that objective. And how does it change? I don't think that it has changed my objectives, except for it has like increased the borders them a little bit to really capture everything. Don't worry, Michael, your channel is going to go viral. Was Lance the guy on red shirt at golf? You must have thought many times about how people would react to this experiment. Which predictions turned out to be correct? Which reactions genuinely surprised you? Definitely, like, all the sexualization stuff surprised me. Which ones turned out to be correct? I expected people to be really interested in the idea, and I expected a lot of people to spend a lot of time watching it. So I think those two are right. Does how world runs now bother you? Some of your followers talked about politicians when we were in Amazon store, so kind of curious. Does how the world runs now bother you? I mean, I don't really have any problems with it. Like, there's nothing's ever going to be, I mean, everything will always be, like, improving, and, like, things are probably better off as a whole now than they were 100 years ago, and they're probably better in 100 years from now, but I don't know. I'll try and affect some change in my lifetime, but, you're not going to change everything, so I think it's important not to get bogged down about, like, everything is terrible. I think you can definitely find a lot of good things. Okay, I'll come over. Turn off. Anything interesting and funny? No, nothing switching streams so far. I mean, the switching thing is so fast now, it's like less than 5 seconds, so, and it's still going on the other platforms, so even though it wasn't on YouTube, like, it would technically still be on Twitch and DLive. But the worst thing that I've ever missed was when I was in Austin. There was this, like, this YouTube prankster who was giving people fake $100 bills to do stuff, and that was just the situation with him. It was like a funny encounter and stuff, and it would have definitely been something a lot of people probably would have watched, but it was really early in the project and the stream was down and I didn't notice it. You're not safe for work audience feel like they're not getting the same explanation whenever there are system issues going on. You said earlier today you don't care about your not safe for work audience's reactions. I don't care about people trying to, like, guilt trip me or, like, I don't know, gaslit, whatever is the right word. Just, like, people saying things like, oh, like, I thought this project was this and stuff. Like, clearly I'm doing my best in every aspect. So if something goes wrong, from my end, I saw that camera and it looked like it was streaming. Everything shows that it looked the exact same as it does when it's streaming. So, I don't know. I don't care. I don't care that you're mad that it wasn't on. Like, I don't. I'm doing my best. This is my project, and I'm trying to make the most of it. I have my own expectations to meet. I'm not meeting anyone else's. Yeah, I'm going to get to meet Queen Beth. This community is great. What would you do if you weren't streaming? That's a good question. I have no idea. I remember, do you feel this project made you less sociable? That's a good question, Tamsy. I don't really know how to answer that. I think I was pretty unsociable before the start of this project, but but I'll only really know once I'm not doing the project. When Beth visited the first time at a restaurant. In what month was that, Naomi? Mom, when was your visit? Your first visit here? April. Okay. I know you and your brother are close, but you were worried about measuring up to him.
April and then maybe July and then.
Okay. Do I ever worry about measuring up to him? I mean, I think in the past a lot more, but now we're on very different routes, so it's not as much measuring up with each other. Ethan knows how. Oh, man, we're just shot all the way up here. Okay. Does Ethan still stay with you? He does. He's downstairs. Like his room is downstairs, but he's picking up his girlfriend right now from the airport. Ethan knows how to cook. Ethan knows how to cook about as much as I do. You have thought many times about people would react to this experiment. Which predictions? Oh, okay, I think I answered that. See you at the podcast tomorrow. Bye, Josh. I'm an old-time YouTuber since 2008, just for the music. Good luck with your channel. It is highly likely that all the big gun YouTubers will see you over 12 months. I hope it grows. I'm sitting at work. Will you do a bit of travel vlogging whilst driving around in your Prius? Not sure. Cowboys game is getting there. Who was your first male gay friend? Your first gay admirer? I don't know. Probably someone who had not come out of the closet in like early school or something. But I don't know the answer to the second one. Well, I'll take that as leave. Why don't you wash your vegetables? Because I buy organic everything, so there's no pesticides or anything to wash off. Why we would like to know your depression pancake recipe or smoothies recipe. Okay, pancakes, you just put pumpkin, oats, cinnamon, and eggs, and some cocoa powder, maybe if you want that. And the ratio changes every time, but whatever looks good and tastes good, try that out. Add some honey or something. Smoothies, you gotta get some greens, mixed greens or spinach, almond milk, fruit, and then you throw in some nuts if you want for some extra texture, and some oats maybe if you're interested in that. Again, the ratio changes pretty frequently. God, I remember I was cutting grass sessions. Yeah, yeah. You can add highlighted donations, but no, I actually can't because I'm not monetized on here. I got denied. I found 6-inch earthworms in my kale. I'll wash my veggies. Will you keep the Patreon going? I'm thinking I probably would not keep the Patreon going because I don't think it would really make sense, you know, unless I was doing something that was important after this, in which case I would obviously like announce that and change the tiers accordingly, but I feel like it probably wouldn't make sense to continue it, but I really have no idea because I'm not totally sure what's going to happen after this. Do you wish you had managed your money better in the first few months of the year? Do you think it was worth it for all the personal growth? Yeah, I think that I didn't really have an option. You know, I was just doing what I thought was right to do in the moment and stuff, and just kind of like living life and with the only method that I wanted to do. So we definitely wouldn't change anything about it. Hopefully Mrs. G would read this on time. My question is how they reacted when... Okay. All right, Mom, you want to come in and join for some of these questions?
Sure.
Okay. So we're right here.
I'll just kneel.
You can use that yoga ball if you want.
Oh, perfect. Oh, yeah. I don't look taller than you too, which is thrilling.
So you can start right here on Burns' question.
Okay. Oh, Oh, how did we feel when you... Oh, Burn, that was so exciting. I think that was... Well, first of all, I felt grateful to Toby. That's one of the first emotions I felt. I just thought it was really heartwarming that somebody cared enough about Michael to, you know, call the news and make them aware of the project. I wish really that there was a little more of that because I would have liked to have, you know, helped in some way to do that. But anyway, I felt excited. I felt grateful. And then when I saw the story, I thought they did a phenomenal job. And that it was kind of a big pivotal step in the program. Rob liked it. He wasn't really on board necessarily with the project yet. He still kind of wondered what Michael was doing and why. So he liked it, but didn't really give it the credit that I gave it.
It's unsurprising you can't even think of three things to do with money if you look at the possibility of installing. Yeah, GP, I had an actual like full-size spinet. I don't know if I think that's what it's called. Piano in my. I used to live in a van, and I played it like a good bit, but I don't think that I'd play an instrument. If I. Well, first of all, there's no space in the Prius to really have something like that, and it wouldn't be worth the space sacrifice I'd have to make. And I think that's also one thing I learned is maybe it's just better to like find them in other places rather than you can always find them on college campuses and stuff if you go at the right times. Another question, Miss Gary, what is your biggest worry with Michael when the stream is over?
Oh, they asked me that on the interview yesterday that I did for a podcast. And my number one worry is that there's a kind of a list of things about the amount of change you go through in 1 year's period and the link that has to leading to severe depression or something like that. And it's like, if you've lost a loved one, if you've moved, if you changed jobs, if you've graduated from, all these different like little boxes to check, and thinking that Michael's going to have a move, live in a totally different type of situation, not have his whole social system around him, not have his dog around him, not have his best friend around him. The amount of change he's going to experience in a 1 month period is going to be astronomical. So I worry about that a lot. And I worry about it in terms of, I'm just hopeful and I pray for him. But also I would say that I hope that he finds something else next year as well that he's excited about. Those are my two things.
Wait, I think that actually...
What happened?
Oh, geez, yeah. I think I missed a bunch of Twitch questions.
Oh, Twitch, gotcha.
Sorry, let me
Hey, Jordan.
just switch this to... actually, there's no way to do that.
See you tomorrow morning, Josh, if you're out there.
We're going to go through here and try to find these Twitch questions and answer the ones that we can. It's bad. Oh, God. Jeez. That's not good. Okay, we'll just start here. What do you think about this animals? Okay.
Lance is the sex symbol, right, too.
I know on YouTube stream. I challenge you to Twitch streams. Twitch sings. We live in the greatest time ever. Your mom is a diamond. I have a question. Are you into conspiracy theories? Conspiracies are truth topics.
I'm a little bit into conspiracy theories. I think that was for Michael, but
She highly loves it. Pretty sure
I can get caught up in them.
of someone. I can't put my finger on it. Twitch, the better website. F YouTube. I agree. Girl, I can't wait to ask.
Oh, there's one for me. Elise. Oh.
Hold on.
Okay.
We just gotta. All right. Yeah, we'll go up to where we left off on YouTube, and then we can just. Okay. What? Man. Okay. What insights about human behavior have you developed from observing us, the viewers?
Ooh.
I think just like the fact that people are looking for relationships.
Elise, you ask amazing questions. Very
When
deep.
system issues happen on Not Safe for Work stream, do you think your Not Safe for Work audience deserve an explanation of what's going on? I.e. today's failed Not Safe for Work stream. The simple answer is I don't know. I hardly know anything about just technology in general. I only know the basics to make things work, and that's a really new platform for me. So when it doesn't work randomly, but it shows that's working, I don't know what's going on. As soon as I walked out, my parents or my mom and Shelby were like, "Your thing was not," and I said, "Okay," it showed it was on. That's the explanation. There's no other explanation. It's I don't know anything more than that. Well, you had a good impact on your followers. Michael, you could. What's the most? The most wholesome DMs I get are just people saying nice things and saying they like the project. You could be a millionaire. Any friends going to give you a huge... people constantly are giving me recommendations. I don't even really consume that much, traditional media in general, so I have a feeling I probably won't go overboard on Netflix after the year. I have a question. I want to ask away. Honestly, that's the best way to see this project.
Oh, so we got a good one.
What was your favorite part of the Austin trip this weekend? You want to answer, Mom?
Oh, I think that probably Top Golf. I really thought that was a lot of fun.
That was fun.
We just had a good time. It was fun meeting Toby's husband. It was fun meeting Toby and hanging out with him. But yeah, it was really special that Shelby, that you made the trip. It was a nice time, really good time.
Would you consider doing another year as one enough? I mean, I would consider it, but I think one is definitely enough. Out of the positive emotions of compassion, positivity, enthusiasm, and initiative, which one is your biggest strength?
Me or you? Out of the positive emotions of compassion, positivity, enthusiasm, and initiative.
Do you think?
Well, I'll answer for you. You answer for me. How about that?
Okay.
I think yours is initiative.
Yeah.
I think you. Yeah. I think initiative first for you, and I think.
None of the other ones.
No, you have a mix of all the other ones. You're much more compassionate than people might know. You have a deep compassion for humanity and for people. You've always been really the more caring of you and your brother in terms of me. You know, how you doing, Mom? What can I get for you, Mom? Just sweet. So you are a compassionate person, and you have days where you're super positive and enthusiastic, but you also have days where you aren't.
I think yours is positivity and compassion. You can only do your best. Strive to meet.
Oh, computer robots, Michael is going to grow a beard because it's No Shave November. So you've got a whole month of him. Well, he's going to grow a beard as long as he's able to grow a beard, which it's looking like he is.
You consider going to New York earlier than you plan to. It would all depend on Ethan's schedule. Have you ever lied to any of your viewers or mods? I have not lied to any of my viewers or mods.
I believe that about you. I think you're crazy very honest. Has the stream made us closer?
The closest thing I've come to lying is telling people very dry, sarcastic statements that they may interpret as me saying something, but it's just a joke.
Right. Yeah, and that's just your personality. So.
Sorry, what was your answer for that one?
I think the streams made me understand you better, which I guess in turn would make us feel a little closer. But I felt close to you your whole life, so.
Did Michael have any health issues growing up?
No, not really. I mean, a little hyper, little focused stuff maybe, but no, not really health issues. Do you think so?
I don't know. Maybe. No, I don't think so. When you turn the camera off for a break in January, what will you do? Love the highlights. Thanks, Rye. When I turn the camera off, like the first thing I'm gonna do, or in general? In general, I'm gonna get in a car, and Ethan and I are gonna drive up to Oregon. That's the first thing we're gonna do. Mrs. G.
That is very sweet. Who's that person's name that said that? 69. Chahula. Thank you, love. Thank you so much.
Mrs. G, how much your involvement was born out of motherly dread and protectiveness?
Not much, really. I didn't have a lot of dread. I had a lot of hope for him, and just like a lot of it was driven from the fact that I wanted to be encouraging in spirit, and being part of it, I feel like it feels almost kind of like I'm doing something that's encouraging and supportive.
I think many viewers will suffer from withdrawal once this project is over. Hopefully
Yes.
not, but I feel like there are a lot of people that are very invested in your life, Michael. Where's Superior? Mrs. Gary, do you know that you look like the girlfriend of the protagonist in the horror movie Get Out?
Okay, I'm going to have to look that up because I do not know who that is.
I don't think you owe anybody an explanation. Same goes for Not Safe for
Josh, I'm
Stream
so
Walkers.
excited to see you too.
Nobody needs to be updated on stream. Yeah. And, like, I am willing to explain, but you just have to understand that, like, if I explain it, there's nothing more to explain. Like, I'm going to tell you what's going on if you ask me, but I can't tell you more than I know. It's like when people just tell me to fart on camera. Same thing.
Didn't you used to try, though?
Can you listen to Royals? Okay. Mrs. G, what's your cutest or funniest memory from Michael's childhood?
Oh my gosh. That is an epic question. Michael was really, really super cute and curious, but I was just telling Shelby one thing today, actually, that just came to my mind that was so cute. And we lived in a big property, and so Michael and Stephen would just go outside and dig holes and explore and have pick just all kinds of creative stuff all day. So he'd wake up in the morning and he would just put on whatever mismatch outfit and this pair of yellow rubber boots and his bike helmet, and he would just be ready to go for the whole day. And he was just full of exploration and adventure and creativity, and it was awesome.
What does your mom think about the not safe for work stream?
I think that I'm glad he doesn't charge for it. I'll say that. I mean, even if he would have, but I'm kind of glad you don't. I think that it's just true to what he wanted to do originally. He just wanted to show everything in his life, and that's him. That's his life.
Did you think the stream would be seeing people from Latin America like me? Sorry for the English. English is good. Sure. I mean, I thought that I don't really know the YouTube algorithm at all, but it sends the stuff everywhere. So
I love that there's people from countries all over.
did someone ever recommend you to fix your teeth?
Oh, I'm in the middle of getting them fixed. They're a mess right now. They're
think
very
they're talking to
temporary.
me.
Yeah, sorry.
Don't worry. What's your take and feelings of the whole catfish? Do you think it's hard to rebuild that trust? Do you know a lot about that? You can just skip it if you don't.
I don't know a lot about the situation yet.
Yeah.
I think it's always hard to rebuild trust, but I think you should always.
All right, how about this one?
Who had a better?
Mrs. G.
Oh, me or Simon? Oh, I'm gonna have to go clearly with you, with Brian. I mean, Simon, you're awesome and handsome and everything good, but Brian kind of killed it with the beard.
GP, Mrs. G. How did you first notice Mike's interest in music? I totally would have missed this question. I wouldn't have even. I would
That's
just skip it.
classic, and I'm so glad Simon's on. Thumbs up, but.
How did you first notice Mike's interest in music, his interest in reading?
They both came out of internal drives within you, really. And so you just decided when you were going to start learning and getting better at music, you went all in. So it was very obvious that he had an interest there because he spent a lot of time just getting into that. And reading was very exciting to watch because my boys always read, but then Michael morphed into reading all kinds of great works of literature, and it was just very interesting to see his intellect kind of evolve with music and reading as well.
Can you become a game streamer after you're done with this? Because I want to see you play League with Ethan. That man looked like Sid the Sloth.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry, this is not on you enough at all.
Okay.
Out of negative emotions of greed, anger, jealousy, and hate, which one do you say affects you the most? Why? Answer for yourself on this one.
I rarely ever hate.
I think mine's
I
hate.
love a lot, so I don't get jealous very much, and my anger, I used to get angry more when I was young, but I don't really get greed. I guess greed, and I'm not really super greedy either, but if something affects me the most, it's probably like moments where I feel something's unfair, maybe just a little bit, but I really don't want to hold on to any of those. So if one's being exhibited, I'm going to work to get rid of it.
So which one is your...
I'm going to have to say greed for
okay.
you?
Or for me, I think mine's hate.
You think it's hate?
What would you say?
I
don't do these other three.
Well, you have... No, you don't. Yeah. Hate in regards of... It's not really... I mean, the hate is so strong, but yeah, maybe that you can discard or not forgive somebody maybe a little more than you should sometimes. But you're working on that.
Am I? Michael, if you had a child and they told you they wanted to just live stream their life for a year, what advice would you give them? I would tell them to get a good security system. I'm loving this Q&A with Mrs. G.
I love that
also,
you're on
I don't
tonight,
think that
Vern.
I don't think
Love
anyone
it.
should be in the public eye. I think it's like almost immoral to like to allow your kids or like put them in a situation to become like publicly seen or famous in any sense before they're at least, 16 for some of them who are really mature, but like probably 18 and more likely 21. Like you need to be you need to be at least somewhat yourself and have your own mind to be making those decisions. Those are big decisions. How do you feel successful, Mrs. G? How do you feel the successful in Michael's? How do you feel about the success of Michael's project? Or
I didn't really know how it was going to go. I thought it could go huge or it could not grow a lot, and so I think that when Michael feels pretty happy about it, I'm happy with him. I don't know.
all right, Mrs. G, what's one piece of advice you would tell Michael for his post-stream life?
Well, this sounds like such a mom answer. It's ridiculous, but honestly, I would tell him come home for a few weeks and decompress and make a plan and be home in a stable situation just for a little bit to go through some of the different emotions and feelings you have. Process. Come home and process for a little bit.
Also, what's one thing you're so proud of Michael?
One thing. That's very hard. I have a very long list of what I'm proud of for Michael, but I'm proud of, I guess when I say proud of it too, it's because I admire it so much. I'd even like to grow it on myself, but I love his perseverance, and that when he decides he's going to do something, I love how he disciplines himself and sticks to that. It's very impressive.
By the way, don't ask any more questions. We'll do it till 10:15. Extra long Q&A for my mom, but we're clearly way behind here.
Yes.
What's the biggest change you've seen in Michael since he started this project, Mrs. Gary?
I can tell that he reflects on the things he does and thinks about them, and then he goes back and the things that he doesn't, he can recognize when he needs to act differently in a situation, and he goes back and corrects it, makes amends, and probably one, because he didn't have the reflection before, but two, because it's a maturity thing, he does that a lot more than he used to.
Mrs. G, which behavior of Michael's today reminds you the most of him as a kid?
His laugh. He has an awesome laugh, and it's the same awesome laugh that
good
always
question.
made me smile.
Fast forward 5 years, what would your bio say? I've been thinking about changing my bio to at least I'm honest. That's what I was going to make my bio. But
That's pretty good.
yeah. Come to North Carolina. This is Mom.
I love North Carolina, John. I will come to North Carolina.
This person's funny.
That's just. I don't think I believe that's true, but thank you for complimenting our genes.
We're reading your message. Caleb does crack. This is Mom. Who is telling you?
This is Mom. Yes. People used to tell him to fart on camera. It's really died down. We got on a tangent there, didn't we? Oh, do we both work out?
Here's a good one for you here. Answer this one. Not sure if there's a cutoff, but Mrs. G, what part of you do you see the most
Ooh,
in
that's
Michael?
really good. I think we both like to look deeply into things, to understand things. It could be ourselves, it could be a topic that we want to research and learn and know, but there's a hunger to be better and do better that I think I have, and I think Michael has. Do you think that we have that?
Do you think other people don't have that?
I think a lot of people have that, but it could be a characteristic that I see in you that I think I have. The way we approach it maybe is more similar. Like, we both will really dive into something, really research it, really just kind of pour ourselves into that for a while. I don't know.
Okay, looks like Josh actually was ahead of the curve here.
Thank you, Josh.
Yeah. Clarification. Greed hating. Do you have any stalkers? OMG. No. How do you feel when a fan of the project asked for a selfie with you? That hasn't happened, but I think I would feel fine. Lastly, Mrs. G, what kind of ice cream are we gonna have when we hang out?
Yeah. GP, I got a big list of what we're going to do in Boise. Ice cream's just becoming a small part of it. We have much to do.
Josh is right. It's gonna be goat cheese and cherry.
I don't know about. Well, I know where we can get some good gelato, but I don't know if they have goat cheese and cherry,
So,
Josh.
XK asks, Mrs. Gary, would you consider doing a YouTube channel because you seem like a very charming person, and I'll definitely watch you do some mom things. I've told my mom a couple times that I think she should start a YouTube channel.
If I started a YouTube channel, it
But I
would
think that
be
she-
something most people here wouldn't be interested about, and it
Yeah.
would be on like natural health advice and
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. I'm kind of into that, and I would have a lot of knowledge that I've accumulated that I would share on that.
Mrs. G overshadowed Michael. This
No.
cute. She's so cool. Bring Mike. They are negative emotions, but they're also choices. You have your mother's eyes. All right.
Oh, that's good.
So I actually take it back. You guys can ask about 7 more minutes worth of questions if you want. You don't have to.
Don't have to. Cheers.
But I thought we were further behind than we were. I thought we were way far behind. I wouldn't miss
Yeah,
it.
and on the negative emotion thing, there are negative emotions that, I mean, each one of them certainly we all experience.
Ask some good ones. Ask a couple extra just for my mom, because she's only gonna be here for one Q&A.
I have a short
Chance.
visit this time. This is my shortest. This is my 3rd visit, and it's my shortest. And there's a slight little part of me. I don't know if or how I'll be able to fit it in because we have a lot of company in December, including, family and Stephen coming home and all that stuff. But if there's any way I can sneak back out here for a little end of year one more time, I will. I don't know what's going on.
This app is.
Burn, that's so cute.
Gosh.
I'll
Hold on,
have
hold
2 subscribers to my YouTube channel, so that would be exciting.
on. Okay.
3 subscribers I would have.
For the record, I've already tried Mike's goat cheese and cherry recipe. I inhaled it all. Yes, Miss. Michael, what would you like your mom to learn from?
This experience. Nice. Good question.
I don't know. I guess maybe more about what it means. I mean, like, the idea is to be able to see things from my perspective better, but the thing that I would want most for my mom to take away is, like, to be able to see better from the perspective of a member of my generation in general.
Yeah.
And just, like, understand what the world looks like for a 22-year-old right now.
Well, that's pretty funny because I also talked to the guys last night about that a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you've accomplished that to the degree that the people in my generation who respond to you doing this project, I was explaining, they kind of feel sorry for me, like, oh, I'm sorry, your son's, oh, I hope he goes back to college. Or, he'll get through it, he'll find himself, those kind of comments. And it's made me realize that I don't really want to have that approach, that I want to celebrate the things that people do that are making them happy and finding their way. And so you've already changed my approach a little bit by showing me that. Natural health advice.
Do you feel
Cool,
that
Brad.
you're making a difference with the way you live your life?
It's probably for you.
Let's do it for you.
Okay. Do you feel you're making a difference about the way you live your life? If I do, it would be. I feel like if I'm making a difference with the way I live my life, it's just subtle examples of being loving, being joyful, being forgiving, things that I try to do, and hopefully the difference I'm making is especially that my kids have seen that and they value it themselves.
What about strangers? Think it's the same thing?
Well, are we reading Josh's
No,
question
just
now?
asking that.
I think that I make a difference when I go someplace and I think you can make a difference in just such simple ways, just by being kind or taking an interest in somebody and leaving maybe their day better. I don't know. God bless you.
Where's
And if I start my YouTube channel, God bless you. Maybe I'll make a difference. God bless you. In the way that I'll help some people's health.
What's the best part about meeting people from the stream, Beth?
Well, I think the best part of this project is the stream, and meeting people like you, Josh, it's just a big hug. It's so wonderful to myself make a connection with people who have made connections with each other and with Michael and with me on stream. It's really cool to make the personal connection. It's special.
Brad says, I'd watch your videos about natural health advice
I
for
like
sure.
it.
It's something I know almost nothing about, but would be very interested to learn
Cool,
about.
Brad.
I agree, especially with guests. Updates, Michael as well. If you had to describe yourself in only 3 words, what would you choose? What words do you think your friends would choose to describe you?
I don't know as much on how my friends would describe me. I would describe just definitely joyful. I'm grateful. I live life with a lot of gratitude, so I feel like I'm a grateful person. I try to recognize things as gifts and be grateful. So I'm a grateful person, a joyful person, and a caring person. My friends, I guess it would validate me if they describe me the same way.
What's your best asset, Mom?
My best asset.
Starvey, right? The home.
Photography? Yeah, my photography skills.
No.
I mean, today it was golfing. Clearly my best asset is my golf skills, right? I think my best asset is my ability to see the best in people. It's nice for me. I really do see good in people more than I see bad.
Mrs. G, what advice would you give Michael about falling in love?
Just really like the person, have fun with them, enjoy each other, and be honest about who you are with each other. And then if you and she do that and you have love for each other, it's going to work.
Have you guys ever had to speak in code, find ways to speak of private topics or things that can't be covered on camera?
Yes, you have.
I haven't with you.
No, but you and Ethan
in general,
do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fairly rare, but the most common thing
I don't really, this whole year, I really have not had a time where, I could text you something.
Yeah.
But I haven't had a time where I could talk to you about something that wasn't on camera. And in fact, even a couple times if I text you, you read it out loud on camera anyway. So, yeah, nothing private really.
Okay, let's do these 2 more. So, to Michael and Miss Gary, what's one trait of personality you'd like to change about yourself?
I would probably there's too many things I've been sitting on a little bit now since I've left my human resources career with what I want to do next with my career. So I guess what I would like to change about myself right now is to kind of just tackle fear of the next phase a little bit, because I think I have a little fear and doubt that creep in and keep me from maybe doing some stuff.
I think that maybe being slightly more able to be, and this kind of goes alongside like having more patience, but just being able to be more content in the present situation of whatever I'm doing. Okay, what was the next one? Mrs. Gary, where do you see Mike in 5, 10, 25 years from now?
I think that he has a good another 3 years of really unpredictable years. I wouldn't even begin. He doesn't know how to begin to describe what they could look like. I don't know how to describe what they would look like. But somewhere in that 3 to 5 year mark, I see him honing in on something and pursuing that a little more single-mindedly so that there's maybe a little more predictable path about where he'll go with that. And I see Michael having a great relationship and being a wonderful boyfriend, husband, and dad. So I know that if he meets that person, that will come in his life, and probably sooner than later. I think if you find it, you would recognize it, treasure it, and act on it. So I think that's possible.
The last thing I'll answer here from Warcraft Andy, weren't you a Twitch affiliate? Did they take it away because you were streaming on multiple platforms at the same time? I had the opportunity to become one, but I didn't do it because I was going to keep streaming on YouTube. There are a couple more questions here. Are there any that you want to answer? Harley is not going to stay with me immediately after the stream is over.
Brad, that's sweet. My friend, that's so interesting that you have pegged that from a very short time of watching me to say that I'm a great listener. Yes, I have heard that from many, many, many of my friends, and I know that I have friends that come to me for that. And I enjoy it, so I guess I don't think about maybe that I'm a great listener because I just enjoy listening.
Okay, actually...
Thanks, guys. It was nice to be able to join in on here. It was awesome. Did you cut out?
No, not yet.